Does the Bible talk about racism? That's the question here today on Living in the Word. Hi everybody, Matt Stedham. Thanks for joining me today on Living in the Word. We're going to be looking at the question, does the Bible answer any kind of question about racism? Is it right? Is it wrong? Is this a new problem that we struggle with, or is this something that's been going on since the beginning of time? Well, the Bible actually does address this. We just don't have American eyes to see it. We tend to think of racism as a very narrow category, but it's very broad, especially in the biblical scope of things. Where we tend to see black and white racism mostly in our eyes in the United States. The Bible puts these things in different terms, but the racism is still a problem in the Bible, and it's not anything at all that Christ supports or that the apostles support. Think about Jesus giving his sermon in Nazareth in Luke chapter 4. Jesus talks about how the fulfillment of the messianic promise is coming to realization in him. In other words, he's the Messiah, and he's going to do what God promised to do through the Messiah. But then Jesus tells two short stories, both about how Israel's prophets in the past ministered to Gentiles. There is an ethnic difference there between the Jewish prophets and the Gentile recipients of these miracles, of these healings and these blessings. And when Jesus starts talking about his ministry is going down that path, well, the people in Nazareth want to throw him off the cliff. They're so angry at this concept of Jews and Gentiles being together that they're willing to kill Jesus over his proclamation of this. Now, the problem doesn't only end in Jesus' ministry, it continues on into the ministry of Paul. And so Paul is writing to the church in Galatia who's dealing with some people trying to teach this systemic racism. And Paul writes all these different things, but I want to draw our attention to one place in Galatians chapter 3, starting in verse 26. So in Christ Jesus, you are all children of God through faith. For all of you were baptized into Christ, have clothed yourselves with Christ. There is neither Jew nor Gentile, neither slave nor free, nor is there male and female. For you are all one in Christ Jesus. If you belong to Christ, then you are Adam's seed and heirs according to the promise. So you can see right there, Paul wants the church in Galatia to look at things through the lens of Christ. We may be different looking on the outside, but on the inside, our hearts are given to Christ. We have put Christ on in baptism, and that's what unites us. No, racism is not okay in the church. No, the Bible doesn't condone racism in any way. It speaks explicitly against such things. We are united in Christ, and it doesn't matter whether we're Jew or Gentile, slave or free, male or female, black or white, Democrat or Republican, cowboys versus, you get the idea, right? There are no divisions in the kingdom of Christ because we are all one in Christ. That's our moment for today on Living in the Word. If you've got any questions about this, drop them down in the comments, or you can send me an email at any time and I'll be happy to respond to those. Might even make a video about your question. In the meantime, may you be blessed as you seek to walk in favor with God and you continue to dive into His Word each and every day. We'll see you next time.